Hey YouTube, what goes on? And welcome to Disavowed Action Figures, bringing you another action figure review. Today we're taking a closer look at the Marvel Legends Thor Love and Thunder Thor 4 Groot, Teenage Groot release from the Marvel's Korg Build-A-Figure wave. Very excited to take a look at this guy. I know that on the surface he just appears to be a re-release of the Teenage Groot that we saw in the final days of the Toys R Us 3-pack that came along with Thor and Rocket Raccoon. I never owned that, so this was a must pick up for me, as I do have pretty much all the other Groots that have been released in the Marvel Legends line. So looking forward to taking a closer look at this guy. But before we get to that, if you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free for you, doesn't cost you anything, helps us grow the channel tremendously. Also, if you hit that bell will give you notifications, and YouTube will actually tell you when we post new content here on the channel, like our action figure reviews, like our twice weekly toy hunts, like our live streams and other content we post here on the channel. And also, if you would like to see some daily toy content, check us out over at Instagram and also Twitter at Disavowed_12. We're of course going to get this guy out of the box. We'll move him around a little bit, and my favorite part, we'll compare him to multiple Marvel Legends, Guardians of the Galaxy, other lines, all sorts of stuff. Let's have some fun and rip this guy out of the packaging. But first, let's take a closer look at that box. As you know, here on Disavowed Action Figures, I love myself some Marvel Legends packaging. So here's a closer look at the cross-sell on the back of the packaging for Marvel Legends Korg Build-A-Figure Wave. As you can see, it will take you 6 figures to complete this particular Build-A-Figure. We were given a Marvel Legends Korg a ways back as part of the Marvel Legends 2-pack with the Grandmaster Jeff Goldblum. Loved that 2-pack. Also got it on clearance, which was incredible. But this is the Korg as the version we will see in Thor 4, Thor Love and Thunder. Let me know in the comments, are you going to be building him? I personally am not going to be, as I am content with the Korg I have. And of course, we'll bust him out for some comparisons later on. And then as far as the top of the packaging goes, we do get a great picture of the teenage, I guess you can consider him, version of Groot that we saw in Infinity War, and of course, other MCU movies after that. And we do get Groot, and it just says, I am Groot, and some other languages there as well. Bottom of the packaging, legalese, all the nonsense. Up top, we get the broken Mjolnir of Thor's hammer, and of course on the side, some great artwork. And just for fun, I thought I'd throw the Toys R Us exclusive Groot Evolution of Groot box up there. True story, I have kept both of those little Groots in this box in my collection for fear of losing them. But since I have been getting rid of all of my boxing week by week over the last 2 months, I had to keep this one. But as you can see, I finally took them out of there, and I love that Toys R Us sticker. Love that picture right there on the side. All right, now let's rip him open. And here's Groot out of the packaging. As you can see, we get multiple accessories. We do get the torso Build-A-Figure piece right here for Korg. We also get the extensions here for the hands that go on each hand, as well as the trigger finger hand right here, with the trigger finger, and of course the gun right there. Closer look at Groot up close. There he is. Can't wait to get this guy out of the plastic shell. Let's do it. Here's Groot out of the packaging on the rotating base with all the accessories he does come with. He may not be as tall as you would expect. Again, I did not have the Toys R Us exclusive from that 3-pack, so I'm very excited to have this guy in hand. Let's take a close look at the accessories, then we'll move him around, and we'll do my favorite part of the entire video, comparisons with Groot with all sorts of action figures. So as I said earlier, he does come with these extension pieces, which will port into the hands, which do show off his power set. So there, we have basically one longer limb. This is a very, very, very soft plastic, actually, so be careful with that. It's not going to break or anything, but it's not very sturdy at all. Same thing here, very, very soft plastic. I like how they do have the green leaves there on this particular extension hand or extension weapon. As you can see, that's a very nice touch. And we, of course, do also get the gun. It's very basic, and as I've heard other reviewers say, very flimsy, not very sturdy at all. I guess, again, it's good to know it won't break, but it doesn't feel like there's much to it, you know, when you actually take a closer look at it there. And then, of course, you also do get the extra hand that it does have the trigger finger on it as well. We'll see what it looks like once the gun's in his hands in a little while. And a closer look at Groot up close and personal here. Really like the texture on this guy. He does look different than the original 3-pack release. If you have that, you know what I'm talking about. They did a different paint job essentially on this dude, so the head sculpt is different. I do like that, again, they have the leaves or extra plants coming out of the head. Again, we'll move him around momentarily, kind of see what he can do. But as far as the way he looks good. I really like what they did with this guy. And he looks pretty good compared to what he's supposed to in the film. As far as articulation goes, you can get the arms up about this far, which is not very far. It can't quite do a full T with those arms. I don't want to force them any further than that. You do get the shoulder rotation, which will go all the way around. You do get the elbow here, which is single jointed, will not go very far. Just about 90, not quite 90. As far as the hand goes, that will rotate all the way around. You do get a hinge here, obviously, at the wrist. Again, the hands are also very, just soft plastic, so you're not going to break it or anything moving them around. The head itself will rotate all the way around. He will look down very far, actually. That's pretty great. He will look up, not too far looking up, unfortunately. Attitude a little bit, but he won't really stay there. So when you do tilt the head, it does tend to kind of go back toward the middle a little bit. As far as the torso goes, not too much. Looking down about that far, but if you bury the head, you can see it looks down very far. Looking up, not too much going back with that torso, about that much as you can see right there. Not much rocker, a little bit of articulation going this way, as you can see. In the legs, he does have that knee joint. It goes about that far, which is not very far. There's obviously no other cuts there. About that far out, if you're curious about the splits, bring those back in. It will rotate here at the knee joint. Just be careful that you don't break that. As far as the feet are concerned, they are hinged, as you can see right here. They'll go to the sides on the rocker. About that far down, which is not too far. Not too far up either, about that far. But the good thing with this is they are nice big feet, so you will get a pretty decent base for when he stands. And then as far as articulation on this wrist goes, you can see pretty much the same right there. So simple articulation. There's not a lot of plastic to this guy, but as far as what he is, they did a pretty good job. Again, this is just that reissue from the Toys R Us with a different paint job. So like I said, I didn't have that one, so I'm pretty happy to have this one in my collection in hand. Here's a closer look at Groot actually holding the gun. As I said, the hand plastic is very soft, extremely malleable. It did take a little bit of time, like a minute or two, to kind of get the trigger finger to go around the trigger the way I wanted it to. But as you can see, the opposing hand does hold the gun rather well. So you can definitely mess around and get to hold it in different ways. So including the trigger finger on that extra hand was pretty great on Hasbro's part. So he holds the gun well. I do dig it. I like it. Backing the camera up from the zoom, here he is with his two accessories plugged in with his basically weapons effects or abilities effects. They look cool. I did have to kind of, again, balance them well. You can see this is a very long piece. It will look cool if you extend it all the way through. I didn't do that for the sake of him bumping things in the back, but I like these accessories. They came out pretty nicely, and they gave us a lot. You know, they kind of offset the fact he's a little bit smaller. And we're about to get to the comparisons part of the video, my favorite part, but one closer look at the head sculpt. And again, this was the major difference from the original, from the 3-pack. As you can see, much different. I'm sorry I cannot compare those for you, as I never picked up that 3-pack, but some other reviews that I've watched, these are very different head sculpts, but I'm digging it. Definitely has a little bit of teenage angst to them, don't you think? Look at those eyes. They're like a shark's eyes, doll's eyes. Here's our teenage Groot standing here with the re-release of the original Groot Build-A-Figure that was a Toys R Us Groot Evolution exclusive. He did come with the potted Groot right down here below. He also did come with the little Groot that Teenage Groot is holding. And then, of course, we do have the Ravager Groot down here in the little red suit. There are a lot of Groots in my place. We do have the one that dances, like the animatronic one, and also the other kind of like more static Ravager, oversized one. He's just such a fun character. And I have to say, seeing them all here together on the rotating base is great. It almost gives me kind of like a feel of like they're all a family, like they're all different, you know, Groot creatures just hanging out together. But love these guys. All right, let's compare him to all sorts of stuff. Here's a look at how Groot stands with the Star-Lord from the Guardians of the Galaxy, where he does not have the trench coat, and also our Nebula figures. You can see that size-wise, he's right around the size of a standard 6-inch female figure. A little bit shorter, I suppose, unless you count it up to the leaves on the top right there. Here's how Groot stands with our Valkyrie in the white costume. I am not picking up the new King Valkyrie. I just love this one. I love the look with the white suit from Thor Ragnarok. But as you can see, as they will be similar sized female figures, she is a little bit taller than our Groot. Hopefully we look forward to seeing them on screen together in the next film. Here's Groot with our classic Yondu figure from the Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. And Yondu definitely being much larger, even without his standard mohawk right there. Here's Groot standing with the original Korg figure from that Grandmaster 2-pack. So this is pretty close to what the Build-A-Figure size is going to be for this particular wave, with the Korg from Thor 4, Love and Thunder. And as you can see, Groot very small compared to our Korg. Let's look at some other Marvel Legends, then get a little bit crazy. Here's Groot back-to-back with our recently reviewed Marvel Legends Spider-Man retro-carded Rhino figure. This, again, is a Build-A-Figure size action figure in the Marvel Legends wave. If you'd like to see a closer review of him, please check that out here on our channel. I'll link it at the bottom. And considering Groot is dipping his toe into the Thor universe, here he is with the comic book release-sized Ulik the Troll Deluxe Marvel Legends action figure that we recently also reviewed here on the channel. So if Groot's going to get into that Thor universe, he might find some trolls real quick. Better be careful, Groot. Looking at some other lines that compare to Groot, here is our Raphael TMNT NECA Raphael in Disguise action figure that came with our Casey Jones TMNT 2-pack. Here's Groot standing with Feral Cheetah from the Plunderlings line. These two could probably get into a lot of trouble, I would think. The comparison you didn't know that you wanted, but now that you see it, you can never forget it. Here is Groot standing with our NECA Chucky horror action figure release. And from across the galaxy, here is our Yoda from the Luke and Yoda 2-pack, standing here with our Groot. And you have to kind of stop and think in the back of your head that one of these days when we get one of these multiversal, universal crossover events, Yoda, if he were alive, would probably want to chill with Groot, or maybe they have in a previous Groot lifetime. I don't know. Here's our final comparison, as always. Here is our Groot standing with AEW Unrivaled Jazzwares Orange Cassidy. And if I saw Orange Cassidy and he was hanging out with Groot, I don't know. I think he would just kind of go with it, wouldn't he? So final thoughts on Marvel Legends, Thor Love and Thunder, Thor 4, Groot from the Build-A-Figure for Korg. If you have the original Groot that's this basic same size that came in that Toys R Us 3-pack, I could see you wanting to pass, especially considering they're now $24.99. Me, myself, had a lot of trouble picking this up for that price point, but honestly, having not had that Toys R Us exclusive, I really wanted this, as I do have the majority of the other Groots, as you can see. And really, if you look at this more as basically a culmination or a part of the series of all the Groots. I love seeing him holding the two smaller Groots, the potted plant Groot, the Build-A-Figure in the background, which is actually not quite the Build-A-Figure. That's my version of the Toys R Us exclusive. But I love this guy. He looks cool. He's a lot of fun. I'm sure he'll have some great scenes in the film to make us want to go out and buy this. So again, if you have the Toys R Us exclusive of this from the 3-pack, you might want to pass. If you don't have it, to me, I would definitely pick it up, as it does fill in the hole from Infinity War and the other Avengers films that he appeared in, and of course what he's going to do in Thor 4. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free for you, doesn't cost you anything, helps us grow the channel tremendously. If you hit that bell, YouTube will actually tell you when we post new content here on the channel, like our weekly toy hunts, live streams, and of course reviews. Leave a comment down below, hit that like button, and for daily toy content and daily updates, check us out over at Instagram and Twitter at Disavowed_12. Hey everybody, if you're going toy hunting this week, please remember the 3 P's of the toy hunt: patience, persistence, but most of all, politeness. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing all of you at the pegs.